I greet my viewers with another liberal message from such outstanding politologists like Mermin Akhtuja. Actually, I want to remind my viewers that at times this recent operation of U.S. Justice Department, led by Assistant Attorney Patrick Fitgerald and U.S. Attorney General himself, Eric Holder, led to a success that crushed Mexican Mafia, or so-called Sinaloa cartel, some kind of Mr. Flores, has been commanded by some Mr. Flores guys. Eric Holder, U.S. Attorney General, even thought that Mr. Flores will die in jail. Oh, I believe it's a cruel statement, and it actually reflected that Mr. Eric Holder himself has serious mental problems that threatens members of narco cartel with death. And I believe that there is a certain reason behind this pathological attitude of U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. It's because he himself refuses from indicting illegal racist segregation in Los Angeles County jails of male prisoners by color of their skin, which is illegal under federal law. It violates U.S. Civil Rights Act and should be prosecuted by federal justice. But Eric Holder, he actually refuses to prosecute those illegal segregators, and that's very sad of U.S. justice. I also believe that this recent actually active indictment by U.S. Assistant Attorney Prosecutor Mr. Patrick Fitgerald and Eric Holder of Sinaloa cartel actually is a significant symptom that American public has reduced its demand of illegal narcotics. That's narcomania in America is coming to its end. As a disease, narcomania is a form of psychopathy, which is obsessive mania of narcotics. But I believe that the American public is less susceptible to narcomania by these standards. I also want to make a comment on a recent statement of Russian President Dmitry Medvedev about Russian Federation being a champion in that of alcohol consumption per capita. Per soul of population, like Russian President Medvedev put it in his website, Kremlin.ru, where you can go to read his recent statement, stated from August 12, 2009. And I believe that in this statement, Russian President Medvedev mentioned that Russian public drinks about 18 liters of alcohol per soul on an annual basis, which is absolute championship among all European countries, and I believe that it might be so. And he also quoted that extreme Russian poverty and human rights abuses, violation of human rights of speech, is probably is another indication, a reason, sure reason that unfortunately, the problem of alcoholism among the Russian population keeps worsening. And actually, his Russian Minister of Healthcare, Golikova, Tatiana Golikova, also mentioned that about that only 40% of Russian population will expect it to live up to into the age of 60 years old. But she mentioned that every 4 Russian out of 10 will die not reaching the age 60. So that death rate in Russia keeps growing, and continuity of life in Russia is actually very low, about maybe 57 years or something like that. Average life expectancy is about 57 years. And because very serious problem with alcoholism, poverty, and substance abuse, and also human rights abuses, violation of human rights, like freedom of speech, freedom of travel. And I believe that since United Russia is a brown-red party of former communist functionaries who robbed Russian Republic during fall of CPSU, as you remember, according to former KGB agent Karmanov, CPSU robbed those accounts, actually robbed Russian treasury's accounts, golden accounts, and distributed millions of illegally sold gold and proceeds in cash, in U.S. cash, to its supporters in return for receipts. In return for those receipts, to return that money back, from KGB agents like Karmanov, they netted about millions of dollars being distributed to former stalwarts of CPSU and KGB, including Kuruchina, Gorbachev, Igor Gaidar, and Vladimir Putin. And I believe that all those people, all those modern millionaires, were actually should be taxed, and simply if the receipts to CPSU would be found in the annals of Russian prosecution. I believe that this is outrageous that CPSU, former Communist Party from Soviet Union officials, they robbed Russian treasury and stole billions of dollars, from Russian public, stole its gold supply and sold it in the West, and transferred billions of dollars actually through Bank of New York into Siabeko, Swiss bank Siabeko, into Russian private created banks, by which were illegally owned by former CPSU stalwarts, who just paid for millions of dollars being robbed, plundered into their personal possession, with mere receipts to CPSU to return the money upon first request. And I believe those money should be taken back as a legal privatization, like it was branded by former Russian ex-president Vladimir Putin from United Russia Party. And I believe that United Russia Party is a party of former stalwarts and functionaries or directors of CPSU. This party will lose its power, and hopefully parties like Just Russia and Democratic Russia will take over its vast majority of Russian Duma seats. Because this is party of reaction, a party of war and confrontation. And as long as United Russia Party stays in power and holds majority in Duma, Russian government, led by nationalist Russian President Medvedev, will keep attacking its neighbors like Georgia, and keep pushing nationalist sentiment and militaristic aggression against Ukraine, Georgia, Chechnya, and other border neighbors, which will be targets of Russian imperialist attacks. So I believe that the only alternative to confrontation in Russian politics, foreign politics, is peace movement. I believe that if United States government started helping Russian liberals, it would be able to diminish the threat of war and aggression which comes from Russia. United Party nationalist leaders like Dmitry Medvedev and Vladimir Putin, which are up to committing a series of attacks of military aggression against Georgia and Ukraine in order to save a corrupt and impoverished regime. And I believe that hopefully justice will prevail.